Hey everybody, welcome to the Cantorcast. I'm Brandon. This is Paul over here to my right, left, this side, that side over there. That's Paul. He's not on camera much, but you might have heard him in our streams and stuff. He's a big community manager for us. But we're hopping on today to kind of, I guess, give the breaking news of what's going on with the OGL, SRD, and 1D&D. You might have seen the trending tag Open D&D going around recently with the rumors and speculation that there might not have been an OGL for the upcoming system of D&D. And Wizards has released a statement, probably after all of the hubbubaloo online and the trending tags and stuff with people kind of wanting an answer to know what's going on and to squash the rumors. I'm going to link the article down below in the description of this video. Instead of reading through the whole thing, you can also read it if you want to. I just want to break down real quick, kind of like what's in here. Long story short, will 1D&D have an SRD and will be covered by the OGL? Yes, they're going to be updating it. It's going to be backwards compatible with 5e, and they're going to update the SRD as it goes on. 2, will the OGL terms change? Yes, they're going to be releasing OGL version 1.1. I believe the version I'm using right now, or the 5e one, is like version 1.01a or something like that. I forget the exact number that it is, but the OGL we've been using has been the same one that's been out for the past couple years. So they're going to be releasing a new version of the OGL in early 2023. So real quick, first, it's going to be covering pretty much everything that's already covered before in the past. You want to print your third-party books, you can do that. You want to make third-party, like homebrew content and profit off of it, you can do that. And the OGL is really in place to protect people from their IP being like used, so you can
misused.
Be misused. Sorry.
No,
so for
good.
example, with our books that we write, it is compatible with the 5th edition of D&D. However, we use our own intellectual property, our own trade dress, our own, just various different things. There's things that we can use, things that we can't use. And that's pretty much what the OGL and SRD is all kind of like bundled in for everybody to use to properly make something that is compatible without, copyright infringement or intellectual property infringement. So you got anything to add to that real quick that I forgot?
No, I mean, from what I can tell, there's an OGL. So that was the big thing.
That's the big thing. There's going to be an OGL. Awesome.
There's an OGL. They recognize that there was a movement. Whether this is PR or an actual display of like, yeah, guys, we've been working on it. We were wanting to hold off. That's to be seen.
Yeah.
We
can't really say whether it's just them coming out and saying something publicly because they had to, because everybody was asking about it, or if this was like a real genuine, like, yes, we hear you. We understand this is what we're doing because we want to listen to the community. We're not sure. Could be one, could be both, could be a mix of everything. But yeah. However, there is the caveat, the changes that are coming to the OGL that I don't think are the worst case scenario. However, I think the general opinion that there is still some concerns. So normally with the OGL, the way it works, because we've got experience with this, is it's available on their website. We have to take it and we have to put it in our book. That's what we got to do. We have to abide by the terms that are in the OGL. We can't use certain terminology. We can't use certain IP, XYZ. That's not changing. We still got to put it in the book and everything. There's 3 main kind of changes here. 1, accept the license terms, which by putting the license of the original OGL we've been using into our books, we accept the license terms by doing that. That doesn't change.
That's how it was written, yeah.
Yeah. And let us know what you're offering for sale. Which means, from my understanding, it seems like we have to from my understanding through this article, we have to register through a web portal and say third-party sellers and submit work. This is probably one of my number one kind of concerns is do we have to sign something? Is it going to be like a similar to DM's Guild where because we have to submit it or, let you know what we're offering? Do we then forfeit some of our rights? Does that mean that you can also use it? Because that wouldn't be the best case scenario, because the whole point of us printing them, in the past was, to write third-party material for D&D was either you could upload to the DM's Guild and you could use whatever you wanted to use. You could use any intellectual property, blah, 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 blah. You could use Forgotten Realms, et cetera, because you were uploading it to DM's Guild, and therefore WoTC, I think, owned it, or they could use it as they wished. If you wanted to physically print the book, then you had to use the OGL and not include any of the IPs, and you make your own stuff. And that's what we've done. That's what a lot of people that you know and love have done. So what is this? Number 1, accept the license terms. Let us know what you're offering. What is that? Does it change anything? Is it still the same? Just kind of what's going on?
I'll throw a counterpoint out there, because up until now, you just open the book, you slap the OGL, and you close it, you can sell it.
Yes.
There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of books
Yes.
that all have this OGL in it, and they're very hard to track.
Yes.
You can't expect Wizards to know every third-party
Every
book that's
single
ever been
one.
published. So this could also be back to protecting their intellectual property and making sure that there isn't a lot of breaking of the OGL. Because how many books in the last year alone have that OGL, and then like the next page they immediately break the SRD and the OGL?
Like I said,
So I'm not going to name books, but like
yeah.
there's a couple of those. So I could see two things. I could see this being worst case scenario, they're going to own part of your books. I could see them trying to create a system in which case they have a way to be like, oh, this book is published, and they might have some sort of automated or manual process of reviewing to make sure that there aren't any breaking, like huge leaks in the OGL and SRD publication.
Yeah.
So I could see both sides.
That makes sense. But then again, this is again speculation. We don't know what it looks like.
Yeah,
until,
we don't
the
know.
OGL comes out.
We're speculating.
Hopeful thinking is like, okay, cool, what Paul said, but there is
but there's also the downside of
what could it be,
What could it be? And obviously they also want to know the market.
Yes. Number two,
Which
and I
leads
think
to number two.
This is where it leads number two. Report OGL related and revenue annually if you make more than $50,000 a year, which for a company like, let's say, the Cantrip Cast, that's very possible for us to do because we're growing, we're getting bigger, which means like, maybe if we were to do a third book and make, enough money off of that during a Kickstarter, because it's not profit, it's revenue. So if we do a Kickstarter that does $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, on top of everything else we do with sales and everything, then we have to report our revenue. And is that just them trying to get metrics to see like how well
who's
these are
spending
doing?
where?
Yeah, who's spending where? What kind of products are popular? They're collecting data on like, oh, hey, this company made this kind of book and they did $500,000 in sales this year. People must like this,
And it could also be like them trying to figure out where they're not filling in gaps.
Yeah.
Because why do you buy homebrew? It's things that they
stuff
haven't
that they haven't
published.
done. Yeah.
So it might be one of those things where they start looking at what topics and what kind of things do people want to buy, and it lets them in on the market. But this could also be a little shady of like treating third-party publishers as direct competition.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with because you're getting free, like people are going to go buy your books, to buy third-party books, to buy your books.
Yeah.
Like it I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. A little
this
weird.
one's a
Like I
little
said,
shady.
everything
Little
could be
weird.
taken as a positive or a negative. But again, I'll say this, Paul, you know me well. I very much like doing things the way that they've been set. And I know in this industry, things change. Like stuff like this happens, things change. But when there's a big change like this, it's hard to not think of like, oh my God,
the negatives.
What if? Like, oh my God, what if? It is hard, but I am told myself for 2023 I'm going to try to be more optimistic.
Really?
So
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. So for 2023, when this new OGL comes out, hopefully it's some optimistic news, and I can be like, yes, I was optimistic for a reason. Or I'll come out and be like, you have to pay us a flat fee and blah, 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 blah. Then I'll cry. But anyway, so that's number two. You have to report our income if we make more than $50K a year, which is actually very, very easy if you do Kickstarters for 5e books, honestly.
Yeah.
Like our first Kickstarter did like $30,000 some dollars, and that was our first book. Like it's very possible. Number three, include a creator product badge on your work. Initially, I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I was like, "What the fuck is this? What does this mean?" But then I thought about it, and I was like, "Maybe."
Initially,
I thought about it. Oh, did you? Do you not like it now?
Initially, I'm just saying, like, initially I read that and I went, that's actually kind of a cool
My
change.
initial reaction, I was like, what does that even mean? Then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. On every single third-party book that we've put out and, like, other companies put out, what do we put in the corner somewhere? 5e. Maybe this is just their way. Yeah, maybe this is just their way of, like, saying, like, hey, this is the logo you use, this is third-party, which is, like, instead of putting 5e somewhere, we put, like, OGL SR5 XY4, whatever they want us to say that is compatible with.
We couldn't say Dungeons and Dragons anywhere in the book.
No.
Right?
Correct.
So we had to say 5e compatible or 5e.
Yeah.
But this creator product badge, we don't know what it looks like. It could be a 1D&D logo.
If it is a 1D&D logo,
and
like
you're allowed to put it on your book that then connects it and says,
that
hey,
is huge.
This book is 1D&D.
Yeah. That, if we could do that, That would be huge. I would be full support of that, and that's what I hope. I hope it's something like that, so people can see it and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, that's cool," because it's gonna make our books feel a little more legitimized, which would be
What
cool.
did we had issues at Gen Con selling 5e compatible books.
Yeah.
People walking up and go, "Oh, is this a new system?"
No.
Because there's not a standard way to say 5e compatible. Everyone just puts a little 5e in the corner because we can't say Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. With a creator badge and standardizing that system, I could see a lot of pros to being like, "Oh, I can recognize this book." The other thing is I can now tell the difference between a 5e book and a book that was written for the new OGL based on this badge. So I don't see this as a negative.
Yeah, initially I was just like, "Oh, they're like tagging all of us, so we stand out, and a lot of they shun us." Or something. You know what I mean? Like
be a good
that
thing.
was my initial my hate, negative, pessimistic brain going off. So
Your paranoia.
yeah, my paranoia that I have that's really bad.
Update.
But the more I think about it, I'm like, okay, maybe this is just the logo that we are going to be allowed to use. We'll see. We don't know.
Out of all the changes, I'm kind of more optimistic about this one than the other two.
Yeah.
Because I see a standardized system. I see them trying to protect their IP and be like, okay, this logo now shows, like, it points back to them more than we were previously allowed to. Mm-hmm. It also connects us with other third-party publishers because we all have something similar that people can look for, identify, and recognize.
Yeah. So out of those three, those are the three main bullet points. There's one more we'll get to in a second. That's not a bullet point, but it should have been like number 4, but it's not. 1 and 2 sketch me out a little bit, just of like, there's good, there's bad, there's like, when more information comes out, I'll be able to comment more on it and like really get some like a more genuine opinion. And like right now it's like, cool, great, there's no GL. If it's just like on the positive side of things, like, okay, these aren't horrible. I mean, we're already accepting the terms when we put it in the book. Do we have to sign something? Do we have to like send it to them for approval?
More? Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm waiting to see is like what I want basically. Let's wait for more information to come out for 1 and 2.
There might be metrics that they're trying to build because they don't have any metrics for third-party publishers for 5e.
They don't.
It's a huge market.
They just see millions of dollars worth of Kickstarters every year, which gets us to what should have been bullet point number 4. But at the bottom here, it says, there's going to be stipulations for about roughly fewer than 20 creators worldwide. And that is if you make over $750,000 in a year, and again, that is in revenue and income, not profit, that is revenue and income. You will be adding a royalty fee starting in 2024. So your companies like the Kobold Presses and the Ghostfire Gamings of the world, when you see a Kickstarter of them that hits like, $1 million or something kind of buck wild like that, that means that they will then be paying, WoTC revenue, royalty shares. And that has me a little questioning some stuff, because let's think about this for a second. The biggest speculation, which I can see why was I can see why it was like a common and popular speculation, was that WoTC sees all these multi-million-dollar Kickstarters and hundreds of thousands of dollars over and over, left and right every year, and chances are they probably went in on that. They probably did, and this is their way of doing it. But what concerns me is how much are they going to take off of these third-party publishers, because this is not in your profits, this is in your revenue. So if you do a Kickstarter that does, let's say one company does a Kickstarter that does $750,000 in a year, that's $750,000 in income. They're going to have royalties they have to pay, but chances are a lot of the money from the Kickstarter itself is already going to be used to fund and make the book and distribute it, and make more so they can sell it in X and Y and Z. But then now these third-party creators and publishers that are making that much money, which is a lot of money, to raise in a Kickstarter, now have to account in how much a royalty share is going to be, which you could see the prices of things fluctuate, because now they have to account not just for a Kickstarter fee, their shipping fees, their taxes, paying free, all the processes royalty and fees, everything that goes into making these books. Now they got to worry about a royalty, and it's like, how much is that going to be? Is that going to affect their business? Is that going to affect the prices of stuff? I don't know.
I see a couple changes here. I see books going up in price regardless, especially with this royalty, because Wizards has already done digital packaging where they add a $10 to $15 to add the digital stuff. That's going to make home, especially with these royalties. They do list here that all revenue below $750,000 will be, in future years, will be royalty free. The way that's written makes me think that if you hit that $750,000, is everything below that royalty free still, and it's anything above that you have to pay royalties on? or is it going to
No,
retroactively
I
make
think
it
that's
the full amount?
I think that's the threshold. I think 750K is like the threshold. If you pass that, that's what you
Well,
gotta pay.
it's all revenue below 750,000 in future years will be royalty free. It's the way it's worded makes me think that it's going to be like a tax bracket thing where once you make so much, everything after that's royaltied.
I don't
Which
know.
I don't know. We don't know. This is all speculation. This is a very general PR release. There's no official terminology. There's no promises. They could change all this tomorrow.
Yep, they could. We don't know. Like I said,
see pros and
so
cons on all of this.
we're gonna keep the me too. So let's keep the video quick instead of dragging it on for an hour and a half. I just wanted to come on real quick. Here's what's going on. Here's what we know. Pros: there's an OGL. Cons: there's some stuff that's sketching me out just a little bit, just questioning things. I'm happy that we have word there will be an OGL. Great. However, little just questions I have still. Just I want some more clarity on when we accept this license like we have, is it the same way we're accepting it? Because technically we already do. Is there we have to sign an agreement? Just I don't know. We'll see when in early 2023 apparently. So.
How much do you have to submit to offer for sale?
Yeah, all that.
Is it just I published this book? Here's a link.
Yeah. Do they need a copy of it? Do they need to review it first before we even put it out?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know, but I would say it's a victory. We now know there's no GL. I'll take that at least, and just kind of wait until 2023 until we have more answers, and go from there. But until then, I'm gonna try to be more optimistic about things and just keep on having fun and doing the damn thing, as the kids would say on the internet. I think that's what kids are saying now. So, all right, Paul, you got anything?
No. Comment below if you think that you have other ideas, anything else. Join the Discord.
Yeah.
We are going to have a conversation probably continued in there. We have some people posted in there right now. So
yeah, join the Discord. Make sure seriously like the video, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz and stuff. We got cool things coming. Also, so Paul gets off my ass, I'm making a public service announcement right now. The Witch class is coming. It is coming. So is the Saiyan race. I actually filmed the Saiyan race class, but the audio got messed up and I need to refilm it. And I haven't gotten to it yet. I have things working on. If you
guys, they are very busy. They are very busy.
Where's the Witch class coming?
Brandon's
Steak's moving. I'm moving. I got a new job.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Trust me, guys. I bother them enough with it. I will speak for you guys always.
Why haven't you guys done one shot recently? I was like, because I'm never home, because I'm so busy with moving and changing jobs and with life.
And the holidays, guys. So we're looking for a strong start in 2023 with the Witch class.
Kick it off with Power Rangers. Oh. Actually, the Witch class is going to have by this weekend probably. Merry Christmas. Here's a Christmas witch.
Merry Christmas. All right.
I'm gonna draw the witch in sexy Christmas attire. For the
All right,
thing.
So we're going to start off strong with Unpack Tactics and Gamma Rangers.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We will catch you later. Like, comment, subscribe. The Cantrip Cast out. I didn't like that. Bye.
He's keeping this in the cut.